Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Skylines Snowfall. Today, we are over here having a look at Myrtle Heights, Butler District, and of course Myrtle Lows over here. Little old Myrtle Lows. All of which is, well, that's, it's all just bloody, what's the word I'm looking for? Why couldn't I think of the word office? My mind literally just drew a blank on the word office. That's new. I'm getting old, good lord. Whatever the case, today, I think I'd actually like to start building another block or two down this way. Because I think moving along this way could be a good thing for the city. Because we have this highway here, which really isn't getting used all that much. Well, I say that. I think it's actually one of my most used, yeah, it's one of my most used highways in the city. So apparently I'm talking out of my arse. But there you go. That's not really a change, is it? Whatever the case, I'm saying that a lot now. That's the new, in all honesty, isn't it? Whatever the case. Oh boy. We're gonna start working on, some new, blocks over this way. And I'm actually going to apply a rule to the way I'm going to do, blocks and districts and all that stuff. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I want to, basically every 4 blocks, so every 40 units, we're gonna have an avenue, or every 40, you know, every 30 to 40 units, we're gonna have an avenue, either 30 or 40, basically. So in this case, we're gonna go to, 40, which will be good there, and, we'll just continue this one on a little bit. So there we go, we'll go to, actually, I have an idea. If I take a block off of there and extend this that way, that's still 40 units. So if I do 40, actually I'll do 30 for this one, just for the hell of it. So 30 that way, but 40 that way. So that's a 40 by 30 district, kind of, that's more of a block, really. But I consider 10 units to be one block. I also have prop anarchy turned on, so the trees aren't disappearing when I place roads. That's easily fixable though. Turn prop anarchy off and do all of this and we're good. So let's just do that again. So that is, yeah, 30 by 40 block. And then if I go 10 units there, I think that's 10 units. Am I correct? Yeah, so that's going to be another block. So if I go 40 this way, so that's an extra 30, so that's fine. And then 40 this way. So if I bring that back, can I make this work? Yeah, so those are a couple of blocks. That's not so bad, although I don't necessarily think that is the best way to make those connections. Let's see. Maybe if we go 50 this way. So I'm gonna go 50, take a bit of a risk, and then go 40 that way, and then 40 and connect to there. That does create its own sort of space, and I think it's still very strange, so maybe we'll not do that. Maybe this is our better option. That's a very big block, though. That is not something we want, so let's just extend back to there. That is 11 units. That is 9 units. That is still 11 units. Still 9 units. We're gonna get there eventually. Let me measure it properly, for God's sake. That's 9. Come on! There's 10, right. So there's 10. We'll just do that for the way we're gonna make this work, I suppose. Gonna potentially be a lot of different things going on here. Let's see what I can do, because if this is gonna be, if I add 30 to that, and then 30 to that, that's, yeah, actually, if I add 40 to that, that's still sort of a block, isn't it? So that's interesting, and what I could even go ahead and do is a little diagonal piece there, because that'll fit in really nicely. I like this, actually. I think I'm onto something here. So, let's see, this is also 30, so if I go... Now, this one's going to be more tricky, because the highway sort of has to come through here, so maybe I'll go... Maybe I'll not do that. This is 40, I know that. So if I go, say... We'll do 20. We'll do 20. We'll do 40. And we'll connect to there. I mean, that does connect, but I feel like I want it to look a little better. I feel like it could look better. So this is what we're looking at. I decided to change this one up a little bit so the highway can still get along there. This one, I realize, can actually just be a straight-up square. It's not quite the correct size. This little bit here is only 26, but I reckon having roads like this could be useful. I do. I do need to fill it in, though, is the thing, and we do need to make another connection other than just this one, because that's going to be hell. There'll probably be a highway connection, honestly. I'm not sure how I will do a highway connection here, but I think a highway connection will be super, super useful. So let me just lay out a stretch of road to that point, and lay out a stretch of road to that point, and then flip the second one. And then we will upgrade that to some highway roads there. I realize, actually, I can't really zone along that highway. So maybe it would be better to pull this all back even further, and we'll focus on getting an actual highway connection in here, rather than what we're currently doing. So, let's see. If I were to knock these back a little bit. Now, I know for a fact I can get this in here. Like, I know this will fit pretty well, too. The question is, does it look alright? Like, it fits. It fits nicely, it does. I guess we'll go with it. I guess we'll see what happens. My worry, though, is just what exactly is going to happen with traffic. I'm tempted, honestly, to try some kind of roundabout or something, but I know how well those go, and I know what people think of them. So, I mean, let's see. Traffic comes in that way. It's going to go to the left. If I can maybe just force traffic to go one way, so the traffic coming in has to go to the left, there's no right turn, that could maybe work. That could be useful. So let's see. I've got a 2-lane highway here. We will, we'll come off of this, say, hold on, let me use a different road so I can actually use, have some snapping. So let me do, 4 by 4. So it's gonna go that way. It's gonna go straight for a little bit. I can actually have it come up to here, which is super useful, so let's have that come out like that. Let's have that go to there. So that's a connection, is what that is. We can upgrade that to the 2-lane highway, which is like that, I guess. And what we'll do is we'll use Traffic++ version 2 to allow traffic to only go straight on, is my thinking there. Because that way, it's not going to cut across other traffic. Although, traffic lights being traffic lights, it doesn't really need to worry about that. Yeah, I figure it can actually just do that. I think that'll be okay. Because the traffic lights are going to stop the traffic anyway, I'm not turning them off, so... yeah, we'll see. My worry now, though, is that this road is not going to be long enough. So let's maybe just change this up for a second. And what I'll do is actually bring a road to there. Bring it behind all of this. Bring it down to there. And... oh, my voice is going. I'll bring it to this point. Can I get a nice curve on this? I sort of can. That doesn't look so bad. Yeah, that looks alright. Let's change that into the highway that we're going to need. So we'll change it into this. And what we're going to see is that the highway actually really nicely borders those buildings there. It's a bit of a sharp turn there, but that'll be alright. But yeah, it nicely borders the buildings we have there. So it'll be hidden, which is important to me. As for this one, it's going to be a fairly simple setup as well. It's going to come straight off of here, like that. This one will not border the buildings as much, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I guess that's the way these things are going to have to work. Although, I could probably make it border the buildings, couldn't I? I can probably make that happen. Let's see. So if I go to there and go to... let's bring this out so it lines up properly. So like there? Is that does not look straight to me. That looks like it's going at an angle. I don't like that. It needs to go straight out. There we go. So that's straight out. That goes to there. Yeah, no, that'll absolutely work. So if we just turn that into the road that we need it to be, which is this one, which goes that way, flip that around. Yep. Connect that to there and flip it. Connect that to there and flip it. So now traffic can get out of there, which is very important. So what I'm tempted to do is maybe not allow traffic to go that way, but it doesn't really make all that much sense. So we'll set these guys up to turn that way. We'll set these guys up to go that way. Those guys can go to that lane. Those guys can go to that lane. Those guys can go to the furthest lane, and those guys can go to those two. And there are merging points along there, so it shouldn't be too difficult for traffic. Just looking at this, though, I really want to make a right angle turn here. Just to make it sort of line up properly, because it's annoying me. So what I can actually do is use this road, and then this road, and then delete that bit. So that actually lines up pretty nicely. Can I can take that across to there, so let's do that, let's do that, delete it, and beautiful. So that is nice and symmetrical. Those are all sort of in the same place. Yeah, I really like that, actually. I think that'll work super, is what I think that'll work. So let's start filling in the space with some roads, I suppose. Well, the roads are in, but I realize I should probably fill up this space as well. The issue here being that I don't want to directly connect, like, from there to there, because that's way too close. So what I'll do is go 30... I'll go down by a block and that's still really close, actually. Let's maybe not go a block. We'll go 5 and to there, which is a bit of a weird road, I guess. Let's maybe change that up again. Let's go, say, what's that, 155? I don't know. Let's go 5, and I need to line this up perfectly is the problem, so let me just extend that a little bit so I can get the reference point. So that goes to there? No, near enough. So give me 5 there, and then connect like that. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks better than the really sort of weird curvy bit. So that lines up with that road. It connects in there. That means I've got another block to work with here. As for this bit, we'll go 30 and 40. And we'll go, I guess, I'm tempted to extend it by 1 just to get a different size in there. And it might actually, if I extend it by 1, can I get it under all that? I can, which is going to be important. So this one's going to be a little bit bigger, which is fine. We're going to go 55 on this, maybe. It's a little bit close to that junction now that I look at it. So maybe we'd be better just going straight to there. That does create a cross junction, but I will allow it this time. I will allow it this once because it's kind of my only option. And I can fill this space in with a road there, so that area is going to be zoned perfectly. All right, so I'm actually really happy with how this area is looking. I'll be honest, I'm very pleased with how this whole thing's looking. So let's bring a road across to there. I can get some parks in that space. Let's bring this up to there. And okay, I'm going to have to get these to overlap a little bit, which is going to be interesting. Gonna be some small buildings on the inside of that. But that's alright. That should be fine. That reminds me, actually. I read an interesting comment recently, which was basically asking why I use so many pedestrian paths, and the simple answer really is I just like it. I think from an aesthetic point of view, an aesthetic standpoint, it just looks good. I really do. It's really that simple. It's pedestrians will use the paths that are on roads by default, like these ones, and you'll see in some places I've put pedestrian paths at the sides of roads. That's just to extend the avenue. That's just to make it bigger. That's literally it. It's just, it's purely aesthetics. It really is. There's no other reason for it. It's just because I think it looks good and I like doing it. So there's your reason. And let me extend this up to that point, possibly. might be worth actually extending off of here a little bit. Let's give that a shot. Let's go a block, and then I guess that's going to be 13. This is going to be interesting. I need to make sure I put lots of old-time policies on this in this particular place. Now that's not really going to connect to there, is it? It could go there, which I guess is okay. It can go to there. This is actually really strangely laid out, some of these roads. There's a really strange thing going on with the layout here. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. Now that can actually go to under there, which is good because I can get some buildings in that space. Then this, I guess, could just be another park of some sort. So I think that's all the roads, isn't it? Yeah, that's absolutely all the roads. Let's go ahead and put the pedestrian paths in that I do so love. So we'll bring that down to there. Bring that across to there. Can it go the whole way under? It cannot. In that case, it can go to there and connect to there. Now that building's going to be a little bit smaller as a result of that. Let's, I guess, try and avoid it. I'll allow that. It's a little bit ugly, but you won't really see it. So that should be fine. Bring a path across to there. And that's okay. Bring a path across through there, and that's okay. I just need to remember where I've put, or where all the paths are supposed to go. There's one that goes across there. Then I want one that separates that space a little bit. And I, of course, want one in that gap just there, which can go across to both sides. Okay, there's obviously going to be one in that big old gap there. Okay, take it the whole way down, yep. Okay, anywhere else? Have I missed any? I absolutely have. I need... Oh boy, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, but I do think they look good. I know there's pedestrian paths that aren't being used, but again, kind of okay with it. It's all just aesthetics, it really is. Let me have a look. Like, over here, this is actually being used a lot, this one. So that's interesting. These ones are being used. That's the thing. It might look like some of the paths aren't being used, but they really are. Like, this one here has a few people on it. It's not the most busy, but I'm okay with it. This one here has a few people on it. Has one guy on it. This one's super busy. Granted, that one sort of goes, yeah, a fair distance to a bus stop, so that actually makes sense. Anywhere else that has them? I know in here it does, and that one gets some use, which is nice. Are the, is this, yeah, this is getting a bit of use. So yeah, they do absolutely get used. That's the thing, it's not like they're sitting there and no one's bothering to use them. Like, this one's getting a lot of use as well, so... My pedestrian paths, as silly as they may look, they do end up getting used a lot, which is kind of the important thing. So, you know, I'm okay with a bunch of them. Let me see, can I get this connection to look decent? I think that looks okay. Bring this around to there. Alright. It's interesting enough. Take that through, I suppose. Why not? Yeah, I like this. I do. I really like how this is looking. So what I guess we'll start doing is filling... Actually, no, we don't want to fill this up. We want to do districts. We should absolutely do the districts first. Okay, I don't know about you, but that's bloody beautiful. Just that kind of district work is, I just love it. I do. I know it's not everyone's thing. I know that some people, you know, this is a bit of a messy district over here, but this is just perfect. I love this. So what we're gonna do is on each of these, we're gonna do the old town policy, just to make sure no one goes through them. We'll do old town policy, and I'm also gonna do a... Nah. Old town policy. This one doesn't really need it, though. Maple Heights. So we'll not bother with that. Sheffield District does. So Old Town. Pleasant Park doesn't. Butler doesn't really. We'll do it anyway. Whatever. We're gonna do Old Town policy anyway. Birch Park can have Old Town and Anchor Square can have Old Town. So they've all got Old Town policy, which is excellent. I have realized it's going to be super difficult to get trams and stuff through here. It may just end up having to be buses. I reckon I may just end up using buses and metro here, because this is the proper downtown. Like, this is older town, but this is proper downtown, I guess. My worry, though, is that I really want to use trams. I do. Something I guess I could do, I suppose, is have sort of one. I don't really want to do one tram system. Something someone did say in the comments as well regarding pedestrian paths and stuff is, would it not make more sense to leave a gap of 2 between, you know, all your stuff? The way I leave like a gap of 1 in places, it would make more sense to leave a gap of 2, because then I can do a tram road. Yeah, especially in this kind of situation, that would make a lot of sense. But unfortunately, I didn't think of that, so there you go. Let's just go ahead and, I realize there's a lot of things I still need to do in this area before it's done. What the hell are these? Oh yeah, those is new things. Oh god, that's interesting. Yeah, those exist, those assets are for a let's build in progress. At least, the build is in progress at the time of recording. I don't know what the build will be at the time that you're watching this, so there you go. There is another Let's Build in the works, or depending on when this video actually goes out, it might be out already. So there you go. There's an exclusive. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's go ahead and get some parks in here. We do need some. I've got a bunch of yeah. I've got a bunch of assets in here. We could add a little church over here. I guess that could look nice. That could look very nice, especially if I do it like there or something. Hold on. Haven't we got other spaces that there's like, yeah, there. That's sort of a... Yeah, I like that. That seems like a nice place for it. Alright, let me just, I'll just pause while I add in a bunch of parks and stuff. So, we have a cross-country skiing park. Seems a little bit silly. I'm gonna add the good old ice sculpture park to there and there. And I'm also gonna add it. No, I'll not use the ice sculpture one again. Let's see what else we've got here. What do we got? We do have a play park. And I reckon what we'll do is maybe Maple Heights could be a residential zone? I guess? Maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know. Let's do a play park there and a play park there. Let me turn that one around though to make sure it's actually on the road and not the avenue. So there we go. So a play park at those ends there. And what we'll do is we're just going to fill up the zoning here. And there is really weird zoning on that highway, and I don't know why. Highway Avenue. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Because that's very strange and it's annoying me. So do that and do that. Yeah, it's still weird. Is there like a dip in the terrain there? It doesn't really look like it, does it? Oh well, whatever. Let's just zone this. There we go. Whole bunch of residential. Will not zone there or there. The rest of it looks fine. So, bunch of residential. This Butler district is also going to be residential, and I know what someone's going to say. You don't have any residential demand. Why are you zoning it? I'm zoning it because it will build in a minute, okay? There we go. So, D-zone that bit, D-zone that bit. Let's just make sure this all comes out quite neat. We'll D-zone those little bits there, and those little bits there. And that there. So the rest of this should come out pretty decent looking. So those are going to be some residential zones, which is good. I reckon Hamilton Square could be... I don't know. I reckon offices for Hamilton Square. Although there is the church there. So some shops, but mostly offices, I think, for this one. So let's see. Let's just get a bunch of these in. Like so. We'll do some shops just there. And I guess there sort of works too. We'll do somewhere on that bit, but mostly, like I said, mostly offices. So just fill in all of that space, and the exterior of that road is not actually in the district, so we will leave it like that, I think. Yeah, that should look interesting. Let's just speed things up a little bit and see this all build up nicely, or not so nicely. It's not really building all that quickly, which is a bit disappointing, but that's kind of to be expected. That is kind of to be expected, unfortunately. The demand's not so great. I'm also slightly worried because I haven't tested to see how this area is gonna deal with the traffic. There are several entrances. Like, you can enter this district here. This whole area, you can enter it. Actually, you can't. You would. Yeah, that isn't actually an entrance. You could sort of go to the highway that way, and then there's an entrance over there as well. So hopefully this will. Hopefully this will work out. We'll see. We'll certainly see. I realize I haven't got any transportation links over here, so I should probably do that. Let's do another metro loop, I guess. Could be good here. I'm just looking at that and thinking we could totally do, we could totally do a sort of continuation of the subway. Which would make sense, but whatever. It's fine. We're apparently not doing that. Let's see. So let me start with... Where is there weird zoning? Is there anywhere that has weird zoning? Not really. This seems like a decent enough spot? I don't know. That's not really connected to anything. So maybe not. I need to find areas of weird zoning. This is the problem. That's kind of weird zoning, but it would destroy something I don't want to destroy. Up here. Alright, so there's a start. So there's the first subway. Not in a great place, though. There's another spot. There's another spot. And there's another spot. So there's 3 that way, which is going to be hell to link to, by the way, but we'll figure that out. Over here, we'll do a subway on that corner, which is a little bit far from the other one, but should be fine. Over here, we'll do one there. And then we'll do one... I don't know if I want it to be right next to the entrance of the area, because that's going to cause all sorts of problems with the traffic. But I'll do it anyway, because it lines up kind of nicely. This one is going to go there, because again, that'll line up fairly reasonably. We do need some in the middle, though. This is the thing. I need to not forget about putting them in the middle of this area, so I will put one there, I suppose. So that's not where I wanted it, but sure. I'll put it just there. And I'll put another one fairly central just there. So there's a couple in the middle. That may look like a mess, but it's up to me to figure that mess out, I guess. Let's see. So what I think I'll do is from this station here, we're gonna have a connection. Is what I think. So that can go to there. So that's gonna be the station that joins all of this together, I guess. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it would make more sense to make some kind of loop here. I think that would make more sense. Let's try that. So from there, have this come across and connect. And then this one... Hold on, so this is such a nightmare. I really should have planned this better, huh? It's fine, though. So that's gonna go straight to, there. That's kind of awkward, hold on. So, like that. This one is then gonna go like that. Then go straight across and sort of curve to about there. Okay, that's fine. This one comes out and is going to follow around to there and down this way. Then it's going to sort of slink over and connect to there. So far, so good. This is, I'm interpreting this one way or other. This one's going to sort of slink across or way out like that, then over to that one. Oh yeah, no, I'm working this out. This is like translating some ancient language. That's exactly what this is, trying to work out my bloody metro system. Okay. That's fine. But what I actually think I want to do is, I do obviously want to connect to this central station here, but I think I also want to make that central station do, have a line like that. So there's going to be a couple of different lines in here is what I'm thinking. So that can link to there. This one can then link to, there, I guess? No, that's not gonna work. What the hell? Yeah, that needs to link completely differently. That's completely wrong. Hold on. I see what I want to do, though. What I want to do is bring this over like this, down, and then to... I guess that station will work. Then it can leave from sort of here somewhere. So it can go to 2 stations that are on the other loop. So that should be fine. That's completely fine. It's completely fine. It's meant to look like that. It's meant to look that terrible. So that can come in that way and loop around, I guess. I really should have planned this. It's fine. There we go. So that's the new metro system. It looks beautiful. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the main sort of sweeping line that goes the whole way around. So we'll put all these stops in here, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I will work this out off camera and get back to you on this one. Okay, so I decided to go really overboard on this. What you're seeing, as you can see, there's 4 different colors there. There's 2 different metro lines on each sort of line there. They don't all stop in the same places. What we have is the green and blue line that go up and down here and sort of loop around this way, going in the 2 directions. The blue and yellow lines are actually going around all of this in different directions. And then the pink line actually goes back this way. So the pink line is the joining line there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that handles... how these lines handle that many trains, because there's going to be a hell of a lot of them. As you can see, they're all doing their thing. But hopefully it'll be okay. There's a man and his dog down there, as you can see. Look, just right there, man and his dog. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Whatever the case, we just really need to wait on this area building up at this point. It shouldn't take too long, right? Okay, so the area's built up kind of nicely, which I am enjoying. What I've realized, though, is I should probably come in here, and I'm actually going to D-zone this, because we have this really nice church here, but it's, you know, it's not the nicest of area, so I want to just go ahead and make a kind of park in here. We do have this space in general, so there is definitely the space for a nice park. I don't know, there's something about the whole, this whole space that I just feel like it needs something that makes it look, really, really nice. So what we'll do is we'll do a pathway just the whole way along there, and we'll get rid of this bit of pathway, because we really don't need it. And what we'll also do is bring a path just the whole way along there, there, and there, so it lines that road. So nothing can actually build on that road, and we have the perfect space to make a beautiful little park here by the church. Now, obviously, it's not in front of the church, but that still looks really pretty there, and it's going to look even better once we get the park in here. I've also completely forgotten to get the mod that lets me place down more assets than just these, which is super excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Now, I do have some snowy, some other snowy trees. I have these willow trees, which are interesting. Some very, very snowy willow trees. I also have this giant bloody thing, which I think I will, I think we'll avoid that one, to be honest. Something tells me that one's not so necessary. It's a little big, is what I'm getting at. Let's go ahead and add a few of those trees there. Let me bring, a little bit of color to those trees, as I like doing. So there we go. That's a little bit of color there. We'll bring in a little bit more, white to the mix as well. Those are actually cherry trees, by the way. Those are cherry blossom trees, but they look, they just about work. They look like they may be, you know, snowy cherry blossom trees. So it's not so bad at all. There we go. Just get those along there. Yeah, I am really liking how that's looking. It would be nice to do something a little different with it. I could probably do a kind of pond thing there. If I'm very careful, I can probably make a small kind of pond thing. Okay, that's well, that's not what I was looking to do. So let me just even out the ground here, because that was kind of friggin' ridiculous. Lower this a little bit. Like that, I guess. Then give me strength like that, and let me just sort of bring the edges a little further like that. That needs to come up a bit, doesn't it? That's a little bit kind of deep for an inner city sort of pond thing. So if I do that, that's still bloody deep. Yeah, the land really needs to come up a bit. There we go, that's a fair depth. Is it? Kinda. It's kind of a fair depth. It kinda needs to, yeah, that's actually not at all. So knock the strength down, knock the size down. Can I... There we go, that's lowering the way I'd want it to. Okay, so just lower this down a little bit more. To something like that. I don't know if this will actually work, by the way. I know that's ridiculously deep for where it is and what it is, but that's kind of all I can do. Let me just bring the strength up on this so I can just make the edge a little bit closer to the... or a little bit further away from the path. So that is probably about as good as it's gonna get, let's be honest. The question is, can I put water in there? Because the water is gonna be kind of ridiculous. Water capacity is gonna go way down. So if I just make sure I'm paused, I can click this and I can drag it down into there, which is actually working. So that might work. It might not, but we'll give this a quick test. Let's see. So that should eventually spawn water. It may flood this area, by the way. Just as an FYI, it can do that. Oh! Alright. Well, it hasn't flooded the area. It doesn't look amazing, I'll give it that. But it is definitely a little pond of sorts. What if I raise it up just a bit? Well, actually, yeah, just raise it up to, like, there. That's a bit risky, hold on. Raise it to, like, there. So that's gonna go a little bit higher. I reckon if I got some rocks and different assets, I can make this look really interesting. Because right now, I don't have anything that's gonna, you know, look like it belongs at the side of a bloody pond. Or in a pond, for that matter. It also doesn't really look snowed on, does it? Now, maybe we'll avoid this for the meantime until I've got some rocks and a method to actually make this look good. So, we will avoid the water for the meantime. We just need to wait for that to drain away now is the thing. Which I think it will do. It might not. I guess the quickest way to drain this away is going to be to do that. And then do a good old pipe. There we go. That should have that drained away in no time. Yeah. Amazing. Alright, so that's that dealt with. Okay, well, I do reckon I can get a pond in there. I do think that is a thing I can absolutely do. It's just not going to be possible yet without some more assets. So for the meantime, we'll go ahead and just add a few more trees in here. Just like that. That's kind of nice. Add a couple of these over this way to change it up a little bit. Then down in this corner, we're obviously going to want to get a couple more. So we'll get a few more of these because they're nice big trees and fill up the space. Get a couple of willows in there just to add a bit of white, get a bit of color on the corner. Again, like I said in the previous episode, I know it's completely unrealistic for these trees not to have snow on them, but I actually really enjoy the fact that they don't have snow on them. I think it looks excellent. So it is, I'm completely aware of the fact that it's horrendously unrealistic, but we're going to have to suspend disbelief for the time being. Those are some very dense trees there, but I figure that's not the main part of the park. I figure the main body of the park is this bit here, which will also have some assets in it once I get the more beautification mod. I think it's more beautification anyway. Once we get that up and running again, which I think it has been updated, I just didn't get around to adding it for this episode. So we may have that for tomorrow's episode, if everything goes to plan. So we should be able to add some things to our parks. But I think that looks interesting. I do. I think that looks really nice. Let's get rid of that big tree. It's a little bit unnecessary. Then add in a couple of the smaller ones just there. Yeah, I think that looks absolutely beautiful. I love it. Well, I think overall we've had a pretty successful day here. There is some demand for some things, so I reckon we could probably go ahead and add some more offices to the area. I think Birch Park can be an office district. So we'll just add a bunch of that to get it out of the way. We don't want offices there and don't want them there. We don't want them there. Let's just make sure that's all okay. Yes, it is. So that'll add a bunch of offices to that space, which is good news. I want to have a look at the transport and see how it's doing. Yeah, 2,200 per week on the metros there. Let me look down into the stations. There's a few people there. There's a few people there. There's quite a few on that pink line, which is great. A hell of a lot on the pink line there. A lot of people wanting to get over into the main body of the city. So we should definitely see, yeah, there is noticeably less traffic, which is fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Is what that is. That's a reference. But whatever the case, I am going to leave it there for today because I'm actually very pleased with where we've gotten to. I really enjoy how this looks. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to handle traffic, but I do enjoy the look of it, so hopefully it will be okay. But whatever the case, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you kindly for watching. This has been City Skylines Snowfall, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!